Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time closing bell webinar. Now, for those of you that do not know me, my name is Josh Levitan, one of the day trading instructors here with Cyber Trading University. Let me just get a quick sound check so I know you guys can hear us loud and clear. Perfect. And great to see everybody back here once again. Richard, Basil, Don, a few of our traders in our trading room, Trevor, Ken, Randy, Oscar, Reynold, Hang, good to see you as well. Lita coming in loud and clear, perfect. Well, guys, I told you guys we'd have a fantastic guest, and like Richard said earlier in the chat board, he has a great sense of humor as well. Today we have a good friend of ours and good guest of ours too, Rick Sadler from Hit and Run Candlestick. So, what Rick will be talking to us about today is basically understanding, much like his title says, understanding how to plan and profit based off of your maximum profits, planning to find the trades for your maximum profit. So, what Rick will be going over today is understanding different charting strategies, understanding the process of planning the trade, your mentality going through in and out of it. Rick is one of the guys that gets straight to the point. He has been trading pretty much since 1993, dabbled in the markets early on in the late 80s, basically understanding different charting techniques that he's used. Lost some, won some, and he had to go back to basics, understanding what worked best for him. And essentially, part of that is understanding different candlestick methods, understanding different charting strategies. Rick was able to turn 8,000 into 28,000 way early on, and from there, that's where he was working off of his strategies. So once again, like I had said, Rick will be going over basically how to easily find and plan a trade for maximum profit. So Rick, are you there? Oh, let me just chat,
Hey,
Rick.
Josh.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Yes, I am here. Thank
Okay,
you for that introduction.
okay, Rick, coming in a little fuzzy there, real quickly.
Uh, okay, how's that? A little better?
There we go, much better.
All right, great. Thank you very much, Josh. Great. Thank you for that introduction. God, you made me sound better than I think I am. I do appreciate it. So, can we get started here?
Yeah, absolutely. The floor is all yours.
All right. Let me. I'm gonna get a. Make sure that we can get. There we go. Sorry, I can't do two things at once. Let's get a screen up there first. While the screen is coming up, you know, Josh, Josh, whoops, let's try this again. Come on, screen. There we go. I think we're cooking now. Josh talked about how I turned 8 grand into a fair amount of money, and I was able to put it down on a house. That was the reason that I did that. But then what happened is I uh, started trading after a couple of years after that. And to be honest with you, I lost everything. In fact, everything I touched just turned to, well, pretty much nothing. So after a little bit of soul searching, and some of you in here may know the story, I came up with a way to trade, and it has just gotten nothing but better since then. So if how many people here have been to a webinar of mine, or been to our trading room or anything like that? Any show of hands? Anybody want to just say yes or no, or bug off, or something like that? Maverick, thank you, Maverick. Lita, okay. Oh, Lita's not. Okay, Lita. All right. Richard, thank you, thank you, thank you. Off and on, thank you, Darren. All righty. All righty. Let's. What I've got up here is I've got a mess, and I decided today. You can do PowerPoint presentations, or you can do live presentations. And I'm going to try to do this as live as possible, but the market's not open. Because just like the title said, how to easily find and plan a trade for maximum profits. Maximum profits. What is maximum profits? You hear that everywhere. maximum profits. Pick the bottom, pick the top. Look, folks, it's not going to happen. Okay? There's no such thing as maximum profits. Well, let me rephrase that. There is such thing as maximum profits as long as it's set up in your plan and you're maximizing your plan. So for somebody to get out there, or if I was to say, hey, I'm going to teach you how to make maximum profits, here's what you're going to do. I guarantee it. What you're going to do maximum, I'm going to buy it at the low and sell it at the top. That's what maximum means to most traders. Buy it at the bottom, sell it at the top. And sometimes we throw those words around a little bit, and we don't really water them down. And I think we should water them down, because that's not really what maximum profits are. Maximum profits are what you can do based on your trading. JB there, JB's the last one who's in the chat right there. You know, JB and I could be trading the same charts. This are the same chart, period, one chart, same ticker symbol. And JB could just clean my clock. He could make 18% maybe in a trade, and maybe I only made 11% in that trade. Well, you know what? I did just as good. I did absolutely as good. No, I didn't get 18%, but maybe my, what did I say, 11%? Maybe my 11% was exactly what I had on my plan. I did just fine. And that's what we've got to do as traders. We've got to make sure that we have a plan. You know, everybody can go out there and find a chart. Everybody really can. You know, everybody can find this chart right here. Everybody can tell you what, let me do this right here. Or did I already do it? I'm going to pull up a chart here. There we go. Put that down there. Everybody can come over here and find a chart like this. I'll show you here in a minute. Like that one right there. Everybody can do that. I think that's a great looking chart. I think it's got huge potential. By the way, a lot of the stocks we're going to look at today, write them down. They just might be pretty good tomorrow. Other than the market took a little bit of a dip today. So we've got to make sure those bulls stay on target. But if you're looking for some long trades, everything we look at today will be set up for tomorrow. Let's see. Do you have any concerns over trading LPs? I'm sorry, I can't hardly see that. To their K1 requirements? No, I do not. Nope, absolutely do not. One of the things we want to remember, for me anyway, I do not know about everybody out here. I'm a swing. Well, let me back up. I'm a swing trader, okay? I'm not a day trader. That's what I say. But there's a third type of trading. It's called profit trading. And I'm a profit trader. So what does that mean? That means that if I enter into a stock and I can make 10% in one day, am I going to take it? I just might. Does that make me a day trader? Hey, that's okay. My number one job is to make money. It's not to be a day trader. It's not to be a swing trader. And I don't even talk about long-term trading, so we'll just leave that one out of the picture. My job is to be a profit trader. Okay, so as I look at this chart, you know, this thing to me, it looks like it might have a little room to move up. And right now I would look something I call the playground. We all have a playground that we can play in. And right now this playground is looking like it's about this area right there. That's looking about the playground. Now, can this chart go higher? Oh, absolutely it can. Absolutely. But do I care? No, I do not. All I care about is buying this for approximately $1.34 and selling it somewhere for $1 or for 51%. What is that? $2. 51%. Now, don't anybody start thinking, hey, this is going to be a 50% trade tomorrow. No, it's not. Unlikely in one day it is. And you know something? I will never hold this to make 50%. Not ever will I do that. Why? Because I'm a profit trader. Because I know what my goals are. We're going to talk about goals a little bit today because goals are very important in trading. We're going to look at a lot of charts. You just have to let me get through a few minutes of this kind of a preachy sort of thing. But as we look at goals, you're going to realize that you don't have to make 50%. In fact, I'll bet you I can show you that when you set your goals in place, I'll bet you I can show you that if you made 13%, 14%, or 18%, somewhere right in there, that's probably 2 times what your goal will be. I will show you. I will show you this. Very easy. But the key is you've got to have great charts. You've got to have a great chart pattern. I'm a big chart pattern trader, candlestick trader. Without candlesticks, I'd be absolutely lost. And then you have to have a playground. You have to have an area that's possible to make that money. Let's go try to find one more here. Oh, that's the one we were on. Let's just move this down a little bit. We'll find one more, and then we will start looking at a few things. I don't particularly want to look at that one, not that one, not that one. See, this is what I'm going to go through, and we're going to look at today. We're going to go through some stocks, and we're going to look at what I might look for. And by the way, what I look for might not be good for what works for you. I think it's very, very important that every trader create their own mousetrap. Now, you can take ideas from trader A, trader B, trader C, trader D. You can take all those ideas. My advice is you take those and you make them yours. You pull a little thing or two from trader A, pull a few things from trader B, pull what works for you. Don't try to be exactly like trader A, B, C, or D. Just take a few from them, a few ideas, and then make it yours. I always tell traders that I'm working with, coaching, or in our trading room, anything like that, I always tell them, look, you know that you can trade a chart pattern when you can explain it to somebody. When you can explain it. I offer anyone, you can come in the trading room, give you the mic, you can explain the trade. If you can explain the trade, you'll get my blessing for whatever that's worth. But if you cannot explain the trade, you're never going to be able to trade it. Even if trader A trades it great. You've got to be able to explain it. Let's see, how can I drop the chat box down so I can see more of the chart? Actually, if you go to the top, there's some controls up there that allows you to adjust the screen, Larry. I think you have a little box that looks like one's imploding and one's exploding, maybe. I think you've got that. Richard, yeah, remind me a little bit. We'll look at Cara at some point through the presentation. So anyway, we're going to look at for some charts that I will probably have on our watch list tomorrow because that's what I'm going to do. In fact, I'm going to clear off all the flags so that whatever I flag will be there. Also, I want to talk about the chart pattern I'm using, and I don't, I've got to be careful of time here. So there's only so much you can do in an hour. And yes, toward the end, I'm going to make you an offer you can't resist. Somewhere in the middle, I might even mention it. I don't know. Because there's no way in the world you can teach anybody anything, especially like trading, in an hour. You just can't do it. So you will get pitched an offer, I guarantee it. And in fact, you're going to get pitched a couple offers, and we'll just kind of go from there. Okay, so the chart pattern that I love and that I'm going to talk about tonight, and it's the only chart pattern I'm going to look at today, is what we call the rounded bottom breakout. We call it RBB for short. And if there's ever anybody struggling with trading or having troubles, I always let's look at this chart pattern because In my personal opinion, it's the cat's meow. And you're stepping in tall cotton when you're looking at this chart pattern and when you're trading it. It's a money maker. I'm not the only person that thinks this either. There's quite a few other people that think this as well. And we can prove it to back it up. So very visual, very rule based, very explainable. In other words, you can explain it without question. Really easy to do. So we're going to be looking at that, and then we're going to talk about setting up a few goals. If I could find it, where'd it go? Here it is. We're going to talk about setting up some goals, and without goals, you've got nothing. You've got nothing. Now, what I'm going to show you here is a piece of software that we have recently launched, and it's trade planning is what it is, and it keeps your emotions in check is what it does. Like I said, most people can find a chart. Hey, I can give you the code for this right here, for this chart we're looking at. I can give you the code how to find it through TC2000, or even I think I have it for TOS, Thinkorswim as well. We've got people that if you have some crazy platform, I'll bet we can make the code for you. But that's going to do you no good. It really is. And that's what a lot of traders, that's where a lot of traders, they run into this wall. They can go out and find the charts, easy to do. They can even look in here, hey, where's support? Support is where I might want to put my stop at. So I might put my stop on support here. Hey, finding targets. Look, I don't know why people think this is the toughest thing in the world. It's the easiest thing in the world. Price always, always wants to go back to where it's been before. Peaks and valleys. Always where it's been before, peaks and valleys. Okay? So where's a target? There's one target. And that wasn't hard to do. Here's another target up here. So me, I'm kind of a middle kind of person. So I'm very likely to look at a target something like this, kind of in the middle of this area. That's me right there. Oh yeah. And you know what? I should have put a line up those lows. In fact, let me do that. Let me come over here. Here's another target. So there's three targets. And do I care exactly where they are? Absolutely not. So the prices I'm going to read to you, a buck 678, a buck 98, $2.39. Don't fret about the pennies, okay? Don't do it. Because it's not the target that you're looking for. You're looking for price to head that direction, and then what you want to do is you want to trade the price. If price starts failing, you might want to get out of it. If price is still showing strength, don't worry about that buck 78 target. Don't worry about it so much. But these are areas I'm going to look for. And like I said, I would probably come over here, and in all honesty, that would be my target area, probably something like that. And right there, that would represent about 40%. But again, I'm never going to make that happen. I'm never going to do it. Why? Because in my goal, because I've set a goal up. Now, this is not my, this is a second account I have, or it's another account that I have. And this software's been out a month now, close to a month. So what I did is I started with $65,000 in this account. It's currently up to $74,000. And just today, I adjusted my goal to $125,000. That's how much I want in 12 months. So I've adjusted from 74 to 125 in 12 months. Really easy to do. You guys know that that only requires a gain of 4.45% a month? Yeah, I know. You're going to have losses too. That's okay. My average currently this month so far is 12.33% on average. I can afford losses. I'm okay. I'm good. Trading with about this amount per share. I'm going to trade approximately 15 trades this month. I've already traded 13. So you don't have to trade a lot. You don't have to trade a lot, nor do you have to go get you don't have to enter in the bottom and exit the top. You don't have to look for 50% trades. What if I told you all you need is 4.45%? That's all. See, that's where a lot of traders get messed up. A lot of traders, they get out there, and what they do is they start thinking that um, this is my target. Or you hear somebody, uh, hey, this is approximately where you're going to buy it. I do that. I have what I call a buy box. This is the buy box. The target might be 40% away. 40%. That's my playground. If I've got a 40% playground, do you think I can make 4.45%? That's all I've got to do. And what if you did this what if you had a trade where you had target 1, target 2? When you reached your 4.5%, you took off target 1. Now let target 2 work a little bit. Give it a little room. Give it some slack. You know what? All of a sudden that might run up to 10%, 15%. Who knows? Maybe even the 40%. But I'm not going to try to fill you full of promises and, ooh, yeah, 40% trades. It doesn't happen, folks. It doesn't. I love it when I get these emails. Hey, I'm going to show you how to double your money. I'm going to show you how to turn $5,000 into $20,000 in 3 months. Yikes. I hope nobody buys into that stuff. That is sales. That's not trading. That's sales. That's sales gimmickry. It's not trading. Okay. So this was when the Trader Vision came out, there's 3 of us that put this together and worked on it. And we all put in our ideas, but one person did all the coding and really kind of worked it. One of the most biggest aha moments for me personally, because you know why? I was one of these guys looking for 20%. Not too long ago, folks. This was a massive aha moment for me. Huge. I've been trading for 27 years. And I got caught up in the trading thing. I love to trade. I'm addicted to trading. I love looking for great charts. I love buying. I love selling. I love talking about it. I love all that stuff. And I love standing on the mountain and saying, hey, I just did a 20%er. But you know what? My wife loves it when I can turn $74,000 into $125,000 in 12 months, and I only need 4.45% to do it. I'm currently averaging 12.33%, so I'm way ahead. That's my curve right there. Right there. Sweet, isn't it? Granted, this is only for this month. And let's be honest, if you haven't been able to make money this month, you need to go back to the books. This has been a great month. Okay, so let's get this out of the way. This is boring to you. Let's look at some charts. All righty. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through it and look at charts. I'm going to pick some charts, and I'm going to talk about them, and I'm going to tell you why. I welcome questions. So please, please, please don't stand on the sidelines. I welcome questions. Um, I'll if I don't know the answer, I'm not bashful. I will tell you. There's a lot of things I don't know about. I'm a pretty simple trader. For the most part, I'm self-educated. Um, I've certainly paid my fair share for clinics, classes, ebooks, and all sorts of things. I believe me, I've spent my money, and I think all traders should do that. Trading is a business. Trading is a business, and anybody that's been in business before, it costs money to run your business. You just can't. You just can't go up there and put a Kool-Aid stand on the corner. Oh, that's right. You got to buy Kool-Aid. Cost of business. You have to buy lumber to build the Kool-Aid stand. Dang it, cost of business. My kids years ago, they wanted to um, mow lawns. I said, all right, I'll make you a deal. Because look, I know they didn't have the money. I'll let you use the lawnmower, but you have to buy the gas. Woo-wee. That did not go over too well. Wait a minute. That's the cost of business, guys. Well, they figured it out, and they do pretty well for themselves nowadays. So don't ever be afraid to get off the dime, take some education. You do have to decide what is good education and what is not. But please, don't ever think you can get out there and do this yourself. Uh, I find it very unlikely that's going to happen. Very unlikely. All righty, let's enough of me. Let's do this. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and open this up. Whoops. Let's do this. There we go. And I'm going to move this over here. Now, this is my favorite chart pattern in the entire world. I call it the rounded bottom breakout. So let's take a look at it. And by the way, do you know that the best scanning tool in the world is between your two ears, your brain? That is the best scanning tool there is. You know what the best monitors are to buy? They're not Samsung. They're your two eyeballs. The best monitors you have in the world are your eyeballs. What a PCF does, personal criteria, PCF, personal criteria formula, or easy scan, what TC2000 calls it. Whatever program you use, you can set codes to find things like, I don't know, J hooks maybe, breakout patterns, ABC patterns, bullish engulfs maybe, bearish engulfs, things like that. That gets you in the neighborhood. From there, you've got to use the best computer in the world, the two best monitors you have. And if you only have one monitor, hey, it's good. It's better than no monitors. So let's use our computers now. Let's use our monitors and let's go look for some stocks and let's talk about them. So I'm going to run through this, and what I'm looking for chart patterns where we're down and we have somewhat of a rounded bottom. But the truth is, I'm not looking at candlesticks, okay? I'm not looking at price. What I'm looking at is this right here. I'm looking at these moving averages. Now I'm going to tell everybody what the moving averages are one time, okay? I have this thing, I'll just share it with you right now. When I do webinars, and if people ask me, they're all excited about what these fancy secret moving averages are. Here's something I'm going to tell you. Look, if you've been trading for over a year, and your question is what's those moving averages, you're asking the wrong questions. Like Josh says, man, I'm a straight shooter, okay? If you've been trading over a year and you're focused on my moving averages, you are asking the wrong questions. It doesn't matter what the moving averages are. It doesn't. You can code this thing to do anything you want, but I will tell you what they are. This green line, dotted line, is the 20-day simple moving average. The 30, or this orange line right here, kind of hard to see, is the 34 EMA. The dotted line, blue, is the 50 simple. This 100, very hard to see up here. There's a reason why it's hard to see. I don't want to focus on them. That's the 100 simple, and that's the 200 SMA, the red one. It's a little bit brighter because it's kind of an important line for me on this chart pattern. Alrighty, I'm going to put the, so what I'm looking for, I forgot to tell you what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a downtrend, and I'm looking for those moving averages to turn. I don't care about price at this point. At this point, I'm trying to develop a chart pattern. When it comes time to trade it, you trade price. That's what you're going to do. You're going to trade price within a chart pattern. Notice how the 20-day simple moving average came down like this, and look how it's come up. It moved away from the 50, and now it's back up to the 50. Those are the two main moving averages in this chart pattern outside of this one right here. We'll talk about that in a minute. See how all those moving averages have come together? That's what I'm looking for, okay? Now, as we look at some charts here, I'll kind of explain just a little bit more. See, figure out how to bring that back. There we go. All righty. When I find one I like, ooh, what's that? No. Better back. Oops, that's the wrong one. No wonder. There we go. Okay, let's start with LPI. I like that chart, and let's get everything off the screen here. So LPI, I'm going to come over here and mark it because this very well may be on our watch list tomorrow. LPI, look at those moving averages in the background. Look how they've moved down. And now, though, see how the 20 is starting to curl up? See how price has gone from a low to a high to a higher low? And now we've got this uh, bullish Romy, Doji, bullish engulf. Doji continuation pattern is what that is. A low, high. See that pullback? That's respecting that low. See how we're moving up? I'm not interested in trading this down here. I don't want to do this. We have another trade pattern for that. This trade pattern is to be traded in this area right here. That's this trade pattern right there. The 200-day moving average is always the target direction. I'm going to say that again because there's 100 people in the room. I'm going to bet 95% of the people all they heard was target because we're traders. That's what we do. We want silver bullets. We want magic. We want the golden chart pattern. We want the golden candlestick signal. We want the target. It's all we care about. We want to buy it. We want the target. That's not what I said. Target direction. Direction. All right? That's important. One of the things that makes this work out so well is I'm overselling those two moving averages, the 50-day simple and the 200. What do I mean by overselling? I don't use any other indicators other than a little bit of volume down here. And I don't use it that much, right? Not as much as you think I would. We'll talk about some of this other stuff in a minute. But when I look at this trade, what I want to do is I want to make sure that I have at least 10% between the 50 and the 200-day simple moving average. Why do I want that? Because stocks love to snap back. What am I? I'm a profit trader. Would I be happy with 10%? Heck yeah. Heck yeah. What if my playground was 200%? Now that's a pretty big playground, but that is always our direction. But what's realistic? Let's come over here and look for some resistance. So I'm thinking this right here. By the way, I'm not asking for a show of hands, but I'm going to ask the question. Please do not answer. The question is, how many people think the market is random? If you are one of those that people say it is, I'm going to tell you you're absolutely wrong. The market is not random. The market is extremely orchestrated. The market is like this beautiful piece of music. All you've got to do is know what the lyrics are, learn the lyrics, learn the tune. That's all you got to do. All you have to know is that price always wants to go up. It's the nature of going onto the stock market. If I could somehow put hit and run candlesticks on the market, which I can't, but if I could do that, would I do that to drive my business down? No. People do that to drive their business up. So anytime a chart is down like this, don't you think the people in charge, whomever they are, don't you think they're working their tail off to get that price back up? I bet they are. When we get down into this oversold condition, remember we're oversold to the 200. Stocks like to they like that revision to the mean thing. And let's face it, the 200-day simple moving average and the 50-day simple moving average are probably the most widely known and used indicators there are. So let's use them to our advantage. What I do is I make sure there's at least 10%, at least. I really like charts where there's a whole bunch. That's a whole bunch. Because now what I'm going to do is look for that swing up to this resistant level. That's what I'm going to look for here. What could I make? 40%. I could be happy with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a buy box in here, something I call a buy box. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that buy box just a penny or two above the top for the breakout buyers. For all the breakout buyers, you can buy it on the breakout. For the people that like what we call PBOs, PBO stands for pullback opportunity, then what we're going to do is we're going to look for entries right in here. Anywhere, in fact, in there. An inside day, basically. An inside day. Let me do something here. Well, I remember what it is. This is our today's, no, it's not. Yeah, it is. Yeah. SB was our featured trade idea today. This is our featured trade idea. I think this is poised for a buy tomorrow. I think it's set up very nicely for a buy. Let me move this out of the way. It's driving me crazy. In fact, I'm going to come back down here and I'm going to flag that because that's likely to be on the watch list tomorrow. So this was exactly what we did here. SB, the plan your trade. Or here's what I do every day. It's an RBB. It's a J-hook breakout. It's a T-line run. Plan your trade. Possible entry, the buy box is $1.25 to $1.41. Right there represents $1.25. Right there represents $1.41. Protective stop below $1.25. Right here. Okay. Once again, there's 96 people. I've already run a couple of people out of the room. Some people don't like honesty. Some people would rather have you hold them tight, snuggle with them, and tell them it's going to be okay. Look, we're trading with sometimes our life savings. But I see there's one more. 5 people that have left the room because they don't want to hear honesty. They want to be coddled. They want to be kissed on the forehead, whispered in their ear, and told, you're going to be okay. We'll fix your trading for you. That's baloney. You got to get real with your trading. It's your money. It's your money, okay? It's not my money. It's yours. So here's what we're going to do. I took this trade today. I'll tell you all about it. I'm telling you about it right now. The buy box is $1.25, $1.25 to $1.41. So anywhere or a breakout was $1.41. Stop below $1.25. Okay, there's 96 people in the room right now. I set a protective stop below 125. Do you know what 92 people heard? 92 people heard protective stop, $1.25. That means 90 some people did not hear the word below because we want silver bullets. We want magic. We want perfection. We want, just tell me what the stop is. Just tell me where to buy it. That doesn't work out, folks. That really doesn't, because no two people are exactly the same. Everybody has a different emotion. Everybody has different account sizes. You know, somebody with a small account, you can't trade with big boys and do that. Big boys have big dollars. Big boys can afford 10% stops maybe, or swing low stops down here for about 12, 13, 14, 15%. Man, if you've got a $10,000 account, you can't do that. If you have less than $25,000, you better not be doing that because it will eat your lunch. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to beat this up tonight here a little bit. This will help you right here. Trader Vision 2020 is the name of it. Okay, so we've set all that up. The playground, $1.25 to $1.90. So the playground is from the low to $1.90. the 200-day moving average, the direction we always want to go. Now notice this was a rounded bottom breakout, by the way. Here, and let me back up because it's not perfect. This was a rounded bottom breakout that failed. But it's still a good chart pattern, isn't it? It came back up. It becomes a rounded bottom breakout. Could have been bought approximately here. It could have been sold right here. Now, here's what I love. I love this. If I was not in this stock here. If I was in this stock here and if I sold it here, somebody might ask me, Rick, why did you sell it? It just came down to support. Why did you sell it up here? There's no sell signal. Did anybody catch why I sold it if you saw the numbers that I put up there? 45 reasons. Look, I'll bet you there's not two people in this room that make 45% on a consistent basis. Maybe if you're trading options, that's possible, okay? I do not personally trade options. We have an options division, but that's run by Doug Campbell. I personally do not trade options, nor do I make 45% on a regular basis. But in this case, if somebody was to ask me that and I sold it there and they asked why, that's why. But you know what they would say? The person that says that would say, no, that's just a little pullback. Stay in it. My friend, your middle name is Greed. Hello, Mr. Greed. There's a certain amount of greed in trading that's good. There's a certain amount of greed in trading that will do nothing but stab you in the eye, and it hurts. So that would have been a great little swing right there, and this is a rounded bottom breakout. That might have been a swing, but it didn't go anywhere. Boom, came back, retested big time, wobbled around. Are we setting up again right here? Man, look at that run. I wish I would have caught that. Shoo. Yeah, 68%. I'm afraid I didn't catch that one either. Hey, you can't catch them all. Look at the reasons here. Hammer, not a perfect hammer, but we're not going to get into candlesticks tonight so much and how to read between the lines. Consolidation, a low, high, higher low. Maybe not quite a bullish engulf. My eyes are getting old, but let's not stab it in the eye. It did its job. Doji continuation pattern, T-line run, little pullback. Okay, I'm finally in the chart now. Notice that we still have 10% to our target. Back, wow, how much do we have? Holy moly, 35%. My entry was $1. Oh, let me go look over here. Trade lock. And what was this chart? SB? SB. Open trade. So here's what I do. I come over here. This is the account that I'm in. I can put the candlestick signal in there and really, or I'm sorry, I'm ahead of myself. Market bias short term, I can enter whatever I want in here and it becomes standard. One of the things I have in here is this 20 rising. So I just put 20 rising on there. That's all I needed. Market bias long term, I can come in here and choose. And again, you can code this anything you want. It's there permanently. Put it in one time and it's permanent. Then all you have to do is click on what it's doing. So we're looking at the T-line. T-line's greater than 20, 20 is greater than 34, 34 is rising. That works for me. Market bias, close enough. There really is no candlestick signal in this right here. There really is not. Not any that I'm going to worry about. So I just left it blank. But the pattern, we have different patterns in there. This is my RBB J-hook breakout. So I just marked it RBB J-hook. Why do I go through all that? Because with this program here, it will tell you how you're doing with rounded bottom breakouts, with bullish W patterns, pinball setups, pullback opportunities, You could put any pattern in here you want, by the way. You could put bearish head and shoulders. You can put a bullish inverted head and shoulders. You can do whatever you want with it. Put it in here and you just code it just by simply clicking on it like that. And that just changes it. And when you go to look at how you're doing, then you'll see, well, I'm doing whatever percent well on this particular chart pattern, or we're doing worth a darn on this other chart pattern. Well, then what you might do is you might go take a look at it and say, maybe you've been a big old bear and you've been trading bearish. So thought I had something in here. Well, I don't have anything in this one. So let's switch that around. Maybe you've been bullish, but the market has been down. You might come over here and you may have coded this something. Let's go to this one here. You may have coded something like the SPY below the 50-day, below the 50 flat, falling. So you've been trying to go long all this time, and you go back and take a look at the SPY, the 50's falling. Wouldn't that be a great piece of information to know? You think you already know that? Probably 95% of all traders, you might know that. You might look at the chart and see that, but you do not take that in consideration. But at the end of every month or into every week maybe, you can go back and look at this and you can say, look, I haven't made any money trading this direction. Well, wait a minute. I've been trading against the 50 or trading against the 200 or the 20. You set it up. Very, very customizable. Let me get this back to where it was. I don't want this changed. So then when I come in and I'm going to set up my trade plan, hey, how many people up here, show of hands, please, how many people here do not or do not want to sit in front of their computer during the day? So maybe you've got an 8 to 5 job, I don't know. Maybe you'd rather go play golf, I don't know. Maybe you'd rather go fishing. Anybody would rather do that than sit in front of their computer? So here's what you do. You find your charts, you set your plan up. This is my plan. Buy it at $1.33. I ended up buying it for $1.32, but we'll talk about that. Buy it at you're going to buy your first entry at $1.33. I'm going to set my stop at $1.25. And guess what? The goal planner here told me how many shares I could buy because I set my goal in place. It does all that for you. Now it says 1969. I rounded it down to 1950. If I would have rounded it up, this thing would have flashed at me and yelled at me. It would have told me, well, it changes colors. And it said, hey, you're breaking your rules, dude. You really want to do that? Oh, it'll let you. But it warns you. Careful, that's not what you told me. Breaking your rules. So I set this up like that, and I put my targets in here. And then when you go to buy it, all I do is come up here and I click on copy to actual. Boom, copies it to actual. But I got it for a penny less, so all I did was change the penny here. Still bought 1,950 shares. All I come in here is do is enter the date, just tab over, boom, everything is taken care of. Did you know for this trade, all I've got to do is reach I've got to move up 1.44. That's all I've got to move up for this trade. It's working out so far. I'm happy with it. 9.09%. Now I just recently raised my goal. So I made my goal a little stiffer because I was beating my goal way too much. So I upped my goal just a tad. So that's all I have to do. It tells me what I have to do. When it's all said and done, you've got information over here. When you go to sell it, it puts all that information in. My risk reward is 2.5 to 1. That's well within my limits. As the stock moves up, I'll raise my stop price up. So that's how I set the plan up. Now I don't have to worry about it. During the day, all day long, I hear from people. They've set their stop right here, and the candle does this, and they're freaking out. Why freak out? If that freaks you out, then really you should have put your stop up here. I mean, that's why we put the protective stop down there, because we're willing to lose that money. Why are we willing to lose that money? Because if we had a brick and mortar business, we'd have to pay the electric company, keep the lights on. We'd have to pay the city utilities, sewage, water. Hey, it's part of doing business, man. Losses are good as long as they're kept in a box, captured, quiet. So anyway, I've entered this here. I'm looking for a trade up into this area here. My stop, uh, what was my stop? Buck and a quarter. So buck and a quarter is my stop. All right, I'm sorry. I am getting kind of carried away. I need to get back to doing all this. So let's go find another trade for tomorrow. We'll work through these. One thing we want to keep in mind is I noticed that the market was pulling back a little bit. Uh, so even though we may be looking at these for tomorrow, we may have to throw some shorts in there. And it doesn't mean you have to buy these tomorrow, by the way. Doesn't mean that at all. You know, a lot of people, a lot of traders, they spend their time looking for that magical chart where if you just had, I don't know, a few charts, you could probably trade those and make nothing but money on them. Nothing at all. Let's see. I forgot to talk about this chart. I just marked it. Okay, here we've come off the bottom. We've rallied up, rounded bottom breakout, tested, and now we're moving up, and we're right at the 100-day simple moving average. And look over here to the left. Look at that consolidation. Earlier, I asked how many people thought the market was random. It's not. Here's the 100-day simple, very popular moving average. Look how it comes right to this area. One of my go-to moving averages, and we don't have time to talk about it today, is the 34 EMA. That is the orange dotted line right here. I use it in a couple of my scans, and it plays an important part. That 34, you'll find that that comes up to resistance so many times. It just matches up. At the time when I figured that out, I did not know it. I didn't know. Uh, somebody, if somebody was to say something about Fibonacci, I would say, sorry, I don't know French. That's all I knew about Fibonacci lines when I first started. Well, I was sharing some of my moving averages way back when with somebody, and they said, do you know that that's a fib line? No, I didn't know. I know now. The T line. When I started to work with the T line and came up with the T line, I didn't know it was a fib line. I had no clue, not at the time. So anyway, right there, I'm seeing a target back up to this area. There's a high. Targets are always peaks and valleys. Where they've been before, there's a peak. So if we have the buy box in there, which is about right here, that's 13 percenter, 14 percenter, that close to the 200 on good volume today. We just might drive right to the deuce up there. So I'm going to mark that one. Let's see if we can find another one. Man, I'm going to have to take a look at this one too. This should be very good. Yeah, 45% playground. Holy moly! Let's put up another line. I'm going to go right to here. The two moving averages for me, they draw my eyes to that area, and then I just scan over here with my eyeballs, and that looked pretty close. Look how close we are. Remember, when we're looking at targets, we're not looking for exacts. So let's just draw a maybe. If we hit that green area, that would be bullseye right on. Look, we're talking about an entry of about 380. Split the middle, 50%. Who cares if we miss that target by 10%? Who cares if we have to close it at $4.76? Oh, darn. I only made 40%. Guys, gals, you don't have to have those big winners. So here I'm looking at this chart. I'm gonna bring this line down because, well, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna bring this line up. There we go. Because this is going to be my new support area, not down here. Let me take that back. Let's put a line right here. I'll go right there. I put this line pretty much underneath this doji body right here. And what that does is it takes me under this big candle. It gets me away from all these bodies, and it gives it a little room to breathe. So what I may do here is I may put my buy box like this. There we go. Now I know that if we come back below this line, I should be concerned. My stop's here, so I'm not going to be too upset, but I do want to watch the candlestick on this if we get below this line. Anything above this line, we're going to make money. That's for sure. So we have a playground here, and I've already put this line right there at our resistance. What 200 can be resistance, believe me. Don't discount that. So I would be happy with, I mean, there's 30, 34%. So do you think we could probably make 5%? Think we could make 10%? How about right there, this line right there? How about that be a target? I think that's a good quality target. So now let's come over here and let's say we enter at $3.98, right up to that target line. There's almost 14, almost 14%. It was 13.9%. So I think that's a good trade. We better mark that one right there. Let's go find a couple more. What time is it? Hey, what time do I have to be out of here? Is there, might tell me? What was that? WLB, this moving up. I think if this started to move over this area here like that, that might be something to look at. That's a big mover. So I'm going to mark that one here. Let's keep looking. Uh-oh. Oh, we already marked that one. What's this? AWT. A lot of the oil stuff here. I want to go look at USO for a second. Yeah, oil is still hanging in there. May need a little consolidation, but these are trading stocks. These are trading stocks. They're not, they're not for, if they don't work out perfectly tomorrow, they're not meant to throw away. Believe me, don't do that. Don't do that. Uh-oh. I like that stock, ATW. Sorry, getting ahead of myself. ATW, let's get this out of the way. We don't need this stuff. ATW, rounded bottom breakout. We move up. Just a lot of noise, consolidation. And then what some people, I love it, people, some traders, they're looking at this. Oh, it's cratering. Oh, it's cratering. Good grief. Quit watching the hard right edge. Don't watch the hard right edge. Unless you're a day trader, then yes. Yeah, you're glued to the hard right edge. Absolutely. But not if you're swing trading. I'm not saying stay in it, but let's be careful what words we use. That's not cratering. Heck, looks like a doggone good trend to me. It's not cratering. Touch, 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 touch. That's a trend, man. So we have a low, a high, a higher low, higher high, and well, not a higher high. We're in the process of making a higher high. So I would look for this as a buy. For the breakout buyers, I'd be all over this if you started breaking out right there. And I'm going to put up a different kind of line because I want this to stay here. And my other crayons there, I can't do that. So I'm going to put this up right there. Look how this resistance fits right here. If this starts breaking out, If you get a good move, a good, some volume behind it, if you get um, some the market cooperates, I think this thing has potential to reach the deuce up here, the 200 simple, 27%. Now, if the market has weakness tomorrow, and the SPY's kind of showing a little weakness maybe, and the USO had a little doji up there, it could pull back a little bit. It has pulled away from the T line, so it could pull back. So if this pulls back, I'm going to draw what could happen. Let it pull back. Let it find that trend line again. Wait for a buy signal, and then let's see if it doesn't break out. And that has the possibility of a 30% trade from right here and there. Look how we would have created a little flag, a bullish flag. Yeah. Now, here's one reason I'm a little bit bullish. The market's pulling back. I'm going to put a line up here. We are so close to making these highs that it's kind of hard for me to believe that the market, whoever they are, is going to allow us to pull back so far without testing up here at the top. This is so close that the market can taste it. It's right there. So I still think there's a fair chance we get up there. Now, I've talked about it for a couple of weeks now, this 207 area being very important. We'll keep an eye on that. All right, let's finish what we're doing here. Uh, CWE, this is a chart that I'm actually in. And if I was paying attention today, which I was not because I was doing other things, I probably would have closed it out because I was up almost $1,000, and now it's pulled back. Currently up only $365. So if I would have been watching it, I would have closed it, but I was too busy doing other things. So now this thing may be looking to pull back, but I still like the chart very much. So I'm going to put it on the watch list. LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn, I made a mistake today. I was supposed to get out of LinkedIn, and I did not. I'm still in it, and I'm up. Very nice. So thumbs up. But I want to go look at this chart. Let's look at it like this. Just what we call the naked charts. Nothing there. Okay, first of all, let me go back here really quick and point out it is a rounded bottom breakout, okay? All right, we've settled that. So now what we have is this double tap. We move up. Look at that flag right there. Nice bullish flag. Let's make that a little bit bigger. There we go. Nice bullish flag. Look at this support. Look at that. Great support. And then we start moving up. And now look at that morning. Now I've been in this for a couple of days. But look at the morning star signal that developed. And it has earnings tonight. That's why I was going to get out of it because I don't typically want to trade through earnings. But like I said, I was goofing off today and totally missed it. So I'm still in it. Morningstar signal. Let's forget for a moment that it's LinkedIn. Let's forget for a moment that it's earnings. It's just a chart now, okay? I'm showing you what I think is a perfect rounded bottom breakout here. Great consolidation. This thing is a double bottom, nice little flag, breaking out, bullish candlestick. Check out the playground in this chart. 40%, sweet. And where would we put a target? I think our target should be down here. So I see a 30% trade. Shoot for half of that. Half of that will probably make your day. So anyway, that's a little bit about those. Before it gets too late, I do want to mention, now there may be some members in here. I'm sorry. Let me know. We'll work something out with you. But if you are interested in a trial with hit and run candlesticks, I do have something here. If you click on this link, I'm going to put this up here. This is a 30-day trial, $30, $1 a day. Look, you can't go wrong. All right. Um, so the other thing I want to do is I want to point out the Trader Vision. Our very first Trader Vision workshop is tonight at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. It is strictly for Trader Vision users. The reason we did that is we want the right questions. Okay, I don't mean to be rude. I don't mean to take away from it, but there's there's some there's some workshops for the public, intended for the public, and there's some workshops that's intended for the actual user, because the users have been using it for some for the the day it came out, some just bought it today, and if you're interested, you can certainly be there tonight. If you use this promo code, because I'm going to show you something, go right here and click on Trader Vision. The price is $247. It's a one-time buy for the year. There's a great video you should watch if you want to go to the website. You buy it for the year. There is a $99 every year re-up fee, and that covers all updates and support. But if you use promo code CTU, kind of coincidental how I came up with that, huh? CTU20, that price will drop down to $197. Again, it's a one-time buy. You don't have to, no monthly charges for it whatsoever. Just one time a year on your anniversary, there'll be a $99 charge. If you want to cancel, by all means. If you'd like to try it out and you don't like it, if you want to cancel before 30 days, just let us know. We'll give your money 100% back, and you don't have to keep it. So your choice. The workshop would be worth going to. I kind of have a sneaking hunch because I know the guy that's doing the workshop. It's not me. It's Doug. He runs our options division. He's probably one of the best support and resistance line drawers and traders I've ever seen in my life. Um, he's putting on the class, the clinic, the workshop, and I'm sure there'll be a lot gained out of that. So the first link up there is 30 days, $30 with hit and run candlesticks. The Trader Vision, if you use that promo code, you'll receive 20% off, which takes the price down to $197. Real quickly, I want to look for a couple of more, and then we'll call it a night. Let's maybe running thin here. Oh, whoa, 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 there's a couple. Pro, what's pro? Look at that chart. Holy moly. I have a, I have something I call a featured trade idea. Everybody that signs up for it receives it. Members receive more information and more trade ideas. In fact, they would receive maybe all of what we're seeing here. Pro, P-R-O, this is very likely could be the featured trade idea tomorrow. Now, I need to look at a few others, but this fits the bill 100%. Nice downtrend. Look at the moving averages in the background. Get rid of that. Look how those moving averages are squeezed together nice and tight. That back up. Look at that bottom. Tap, tap. Great, great support. Great little morning star. And if you know anything about candlesticks, or if you've ever heard me talk about candlesticks, you know that this pullback is pure opportunity. And look at another morning star. Great little doji flag here moving up. I kicked myself. I was not in the trading room today at all. I was busy doing other things, but I kicked myself because I probably would have bought this hands down. No questions asked today. We're looking at a target. First target right up here because of this area here. So let's go over here and put our target up there, and I'm going to go right underneath that little body, right about that doji. So if I can manage to get it for $11.97 tomorrow, nice 12% trade with another 8, 9, 10% up to the 100-day simple moving average. And then we'll worry about this when we make this money here. Nice gap to fill, by the way. Let's look for a couple more. What time is it? We're 10 minutes over. I hope that's okay. Yeah, I'll take that one. ONTY, this is a chart. This was our featured trade idea on April 26th. We've got all the buy box information here. I am long this. I'm just patiently waiting to buy inside that green box. Basically, I'm going to put that up there. Now what I'm going to do is let's bring all those flags up. If you guys want to copy those down, if you haven't been, IPI, KSI, WLB, SB, ATW, CWEI, PRO, EIGI, is that what that is? ONTY. Those are the trade. Those are most likely going to be the featured trade ideas for tomorrow for hit and run candlesticks. The promo code CTU20, CTU20. Remember, there is a third. I won't even ask you why. If within 30 days, if you want to return it, hey, it's good with me. I'll give your money back 100%. No qualms, no worries. It just won't work anymore because it is password protected and it takes a key to unlock it, so no problem. But we'll certainly return your money if you choose not to do it. For I personally feel, and that's the reason we developed this right here, was the missing link. Like I said, everybody can find a chart. Look, I can give you a code to find a PCF to find those rounded bottom breakouts. I can, spend 15 minutes with me and I can show you exactly what to look for. But there's a lot of people that know how to do that and they can't make any money. And the reason is the missing piece. Control your emotions. Set a set of rules and leave it alone. But every time there's a little candlestick, whoops, we start panicking and we start adjusting our rules. Your first gut instinct is always the best. Always the best. Guys, again, my name was Rick Sadler. I want to say thank you for having me here. I appreciate Cyber Trading University so very much for allowing me to be here tonight. I do appreciate it. If you ever have any questions, please let me know, and I'd love to come back and speak here again. You guys have a great evening. Take care. Good trading tomorrow.